edition of Jofo in the Ring, and we have two special guests, champions of the world, Chocolate City, Mustapha Jordan, and Wilson Colas. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Finally in studio, the champions of the world right here, in my opinion, and the future champions of Torture Chamber, of course. So, guys, what's going on? How's everything?
Everything is good. Everything is great.
Everything's bliss.
So, if you guys don't know who these men are, shame on you, but we're going to educate you here today. First things first, you might have seen them on Ring of Honor TV, AEW, this past week. Guys, how was that experience?
Amazing. That's the first word that comes to my mind.
Yep. Same here.
First time on TV. First time
on TV. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And for me, we've been to AEW. The crowds are amazing. You guys got to wrestle in front of Canadians in Ottawa.
Yeah.
How did that feel? You guys must have got the goosebumps. You guys must have felt the drizzle.
It was crazy, honestly, because on our way to the ring, we even had some people saying like, "Hey, Moose, Moose in Chocolate City," and we're like, "Okay, so." We're home.
Yeah.
So this feels good. I'm like, we're known in Ottawa and everything. I'm like, yeah, Ottawa, like, people were just amazing. It was great.
How's that feeling backstage right before you, like, when you get the call, like, okay, you're gonna be fighting Tony Nese and Ariel Daivari? How did that all come about backstage? I'm sure there's some great stories.
I'll tell on my part. So, I'm walking back and I hear, "Who's Chocolate City?" I'm like, "Yes."
Who's that, Tony or Ariel Daivari?
I believe it was Tony.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's Chocolate City? I'm like, here. I'm like, he will. He's not hearing me.
Yeah.
So he's like, Wilson.
Yeah.
Turns around.
It was just a funny story, actually, because when we got there, they needed me to take some pictures, right?
Okay.
So I took pictures and everything.
And not knowing if you were going to wrestle?
Not knowing.
Okay.
They just told us at first, like, okay, you guys are going to be here, but you're going to be available for whatever we ask you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So they're like, we're going to take your pictures and everything. So I go back to the locker room and I change. And I'm walking and I just want to see the AEW setup, like in the arena. But I see everybody's coming out. So I'm like, and they're like, no, we can't go right now. I think they're fixing some stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, let me just go back to the locker room. And as I'm walking, I hear Drew saying, Wilson. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, come here. I'm like, all right, what's up? And he's like, you're going to have a match tonight. I'm like, what? And then I turn around and all I see is Tony Nese is here. Daivari's by side. He's like, okay, I guess why don't you go get changed and I see you in about an hour and we'll talk a bit. And I'm like, okay. Gotta be professional. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem. So we got into the locker room. Me and him just started to talk. Okay, cool. This is it. This is it. I'm like,
you know what? You talk about these situations when you're a kid. You're like, wow, what am I going to do when I'm in that situation? Exactly. Now you're in that situation, and here we go.
Yeah.
Because there's no turning back now, right? You're on live TV, and that's it. Any interesting people you saw backstage?
Oh man, from the minute we got in, everybody was cool. Scotty Tuhati. I saw Edge. He's jacked, tall. I was like shocked. I knew already he was tall and jacked, but I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay. But yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, I saw all kinds of folks, and I'm like, Shibata-san.
Oh, Shibata, yeah. He fought that night too, yeah.
Aaron Solo-san.
Okay.
Like, I say san because in the New Japan way of doing things, when you greet
out of respect,
you gotta say san, Asukara Samades, and so forth. To see them in a different context, that was quite cool. You know.
So that's, you see those guys later, and you obviously you ask for advice. You talk to them. Is there anything that in particular you guys talked about with them? Or?
Yeah, he got in contact with them. Like,
we
Japanese
talked
stuff.
about like styles. Like how does that the Japanese style translate over to this style? So like how you move and how you interact and stuff. So it's you take a bit of everything. And some other folks who are like Mike Bennett.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He gave us great feedback. So to take that and like, okay, this is what I can add and make our thing.
That's cool. That
even better, you know.
Ring of Honor champion too, as well.
Yes,
exactly.
Current.
Yeah, exactly.
Ring of Honor
So speaking about New Japan, didn't you have a little tour with them, or were you were in the training, the dojo? How was that? Because we know if everyone's been watching Torture Chamber, you were away for a bit, you came back.
Yeah.
Now you guys are back together now. You know.
Yes.
So what was the story there?
Oto-chan.
Oto-chan. That's my nickname. It's called Oto-chan.
That's your new nickname. Okay,
So
I remember that.
It's Japanese for daddy.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good to know.
So our training consists, it was 6 days a week. 5 of the days we train twice a day. So you get up before 6 a.m. You gotta get to the gym. You gotta clean everything. Then you run 3 to 4K, and then we start our training. Then
A day.
Wow. And then it's it can vary between 1,000 squats or sometimes is less than that. Then we do our push-ups, then we do our muscle-up, then we do our wall crawl, and we come back for the second part, which is around 6 p.m. to about 8. Then we have to do amateur wrestling.
Okay.
A bit of amateur wrestling. Then it would be kickboxing and boxing. Then on Thursdays, we'd have to watch films. We'd watch matches from like 1981, 82, 83, and watch how they would work holes and stuff like that. And then on
like
Saturday,
specific matches?
Specific matches. Because they're trying to develop their own niche style while staying within the realm of
professional wrestling here.
Style exactly. And on Fridays, something they call field days. Sometimes we'd have to go to schools. And we'd have to like motivate kids to stay in school and exercise and work as a group. And it's quite interesting because we'd go to a rec after our trainings. We'd do 30 minutes in the sauna. Then go in a cold pool, then go back 30 minutes in the sauna, then go back in a cold pool, then go in a warm pool. Then we had to do all of this before a certain time. We need to,
it's only 1 in the afternoon.
Only 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So after all of that, we have to go back home and do chores and all that, and then we have to be at practice on time. You cannot be late. You're late 1 minute, everybody gets.
It seems like it's very disciplined, right? They're keeping you in check, and that's good. That's good.
It's like even if you use a fork, you got to make sure you wash it, clean it, dry it, put it back where you got it from. It can't be, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Nah, because if a senior finds out that you left the fork out, your whole group is getting squats.
Okay.
And it's not like half squats, really like all the way down. And you got to count in Japanese. So
Japanese? Were you fluent in Japanese before, or did you pick up a book on the plane or going there?
I had to become there because there was a time where I sorry guys, I have to admit it, I messed up a count. So I said 380, or the equivalent of that in Japanese. I said 389. Not hearing 380 because the when you pronounce it is very close. So they heard 389. Oh, you start over.
No, wait a second.
Wow.
And you can't show that. You
can't go against them, right?
You can't go against them. You cannot let them show that this is bothering you or you're pissed off or you're angry. You just have to yell it even like with a lot more intensity. So it'd be ich, ni, san, chi. I can keep going on and on, but that's not the point here. And there's somebody checking you, like, is that Q or Ju you said? And you have to remember, I said 341, so that one. That's the one I said.
So tell me the truth. When you're there, you're away from Montreal, you're away from Torture Chamber, you're away from your tag team partner, your good friend here. What's going through your mind there? What's going what am I going to do when I come back? Do I want to go for the tag team titles? Do I want to go for the heavyweight title? What was your mentality before you came back to Torture Chamber?
My mentality was I just want to win.
You know what, you guys win. I hate to interrupt you again, but this when we went to our first Torture Chamber, straight out of Chamber 5. I don't know where the poster is, but the straight out of Chamber 5. And we didn't know. Unfortunately, we didn't know who you guys were. Right. But after that night, we became the biggest fans.
Thank you.
Because of the way you guys present yourself, the way the crowd was in love with you guys, and that for me is top notch right there. Your fan base is probably one of the greatest fan bases I've seen in independent wrestling right now. How does that all come about? Friends, family, what's going on here?
Well, actually, I'm from Laval, so and I actually called everyone, like friends. I've been a few wrestling fans. Everybody on my friend knows that I'm a big wrestling fan. So they were like, "You really have a match? Yeah. In Laval? Yeah. Everybody's gonna." I'm like, everybody's gonna be there. I made sure about that. I remember I was like, keep on asking for tickets and all the time, and Drew was just like, "How many people like you got?" I'm like, probably about over 50. He's like, and then I'm like, over 70. He's
yeah,
like,
you guys had that section down packed, man.
I want everybody to be there because it is going to be a party. And then it was, they reacted the right way. They were there to support the whole, not even just us. They were just like real wrestling fan. The whole show. They were there for the first match to the last match.
They cheer, they boo, they're with you guys 100%, as we could see every single time at Torture Chamber. For me, you guys, honestly, you guys are a great tag team and everything, but how did the tag team come about? I know you guys weren't a tag team your whole career, but how did you? I know you guys were friends, but what did the idea of Chocolate City come about?
You have to have Drew Onyx.
Yeah,
that's his creation.
We can't take it away from him. Yeah. That's Drew Onyx. Actually, when I got in, I wanted to get into wrestling right before COVID hit, but then COVID hit, and then everything shut down.
Everything shut down. Yeah.
So to make a long story short, actually, I went to WrestleMania 35.
Wow.
I posted a picture of me with a replica of the Universal title.
Wow.
And then he commented on my picture. He said, why don't you come for a free practice? And I said, okay, well, let me get my stuff together and then I'll come. Because when I commit to something, I want to commit 100%.
Yeah.
So I wanted to fix my stuff and everything. And when I was about to, COVID hit. So I'm like, okay, a year after, I texted him and I'm like, is it still open? What's going on? And he's like, yeah, you can come by. So I went over there, and he didn't welcome me. He didn't welcome me. Like, he was like, who are you? Like, what are you doing in my parking lot? I'm like, because, like, people used to park everywhere. He's like, yo, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm Wilson. He's like, who? I'm like, I'm Wilson. I'm like, I talked to you, and I asked for, he's like, oh, okay, you cool. Park there, yeah, I'll see you inside. Come in. And then I watched the first practice, went into his office, and I told him, I'm like, hey, this is a childhood dream. I'm like, it's now or never. I'm like, this is it. So, and then at first practice, I saw him. And right away, I was like, this is the guy. I'm like, okay, he's the one that I gotta.
You just felt it, eh?
Yeah, I'm like,
this
is the guy I'm gonna have to look up to, and also like I want to work with, because I'm like, he's probably gonna be like my partner, or he's gonna be the one who's gonna show me everything. I'm like, okay, I want to not bite his style, but copy and do whatever he's doing, like. And then after maybe like a year, we were just helping Drew and we were talking. And he's just like, okay, I have an idea. This is it. And then I'm like, well, what's going on? He's like, you guys are going to be tag team. I'm like, okay. I'm like, no. You guys don't understand. You guys, I see it. And he's like, I'm like, okay, you guys are gonna be tag team, and you know the ladies how they love their chocolate. You dark chocolate, and this guy over there, he's like milk chocolate. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah. I'm serious. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm like, I trust you, sir. I'm like, sir, I trust you. I came to your school.
Yeah.
I asked you for advice. I told you what is my goal is to make it if I can. If you see that I have the potential, then guide me to the promised land. And he said, okay, well, he said it himself. I think you guys have a better chance of doing it as tag team first, and then you guys take it from there. But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow you. And then the first match was like March 5th or 6th,
I believe.
2022. So 2022 was our first match in Jonquière for JCW. Shout out to those guys. They gave us a good welcome over there. The crowd was just crazy, and we took it from there.
Yeah.
So you're there, and then Chocolate City it starts, and then Feel the drizzle. I want to know whose idea that was, because that's great. That's great. With the t-shirt toss and everything. Beautiful entrance.
The t-shirt toss, that was his idea. But the drizzle, it was me. We were just making fun in practice. And we were just talking nonsense. Like, Drew loved to just take us whenever we're just like fooling around.
I feel like the crowd is waiting for you to do it. It's like,
and then at one point I'm like, yeah, you guys are gonna feel it. I did that, and then he's like, that's the drizzle. And I'm like, yeah, feel the drizzle. And then everybody just started to laugh, and we from there we took it like seriously. We're like, yo, this is it. This is the line. This is this is it. This is feel the drizzle. We're gonna keep it that way. The shirt toss, that was he's like,
yeah.
First, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't into all that rap, but he that's one of his favorite wrestlers, Ravishing Recruit. So he's just like, I was
gonna say Val Venus before that.
But no, he goes to the
you're old school. I like
and
that. I like that.
Even look at the physique. He kind of have the same physique, so he's like, I want to move those hips. Oh yeah, for the ladies and everything. I'm like, moves, no, man. He's like, well, come on, man. And originally, I'm a dancer and all that stuff, or a background dancer and everything, so I know how to move. So he's just like, yo, come on, move those hips. And even Drew was like, yo, move. I'm telling you, it's gonna sell. You gotta do it. Everything that, hey, you want to sell it? I'm like, yeah, actually, that makes sense.
We've heard the crowds when you feel the drizzle, and the crowds love it. Speaking about the crowds, I'll never forget that crowd when you guys won the titles that night. I still have goosebumps today. Like, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now. And I'm telling you right now, it goes to show how great of a tag team you guys are, and you come a long way. How did that feel when the bell rang and you guys won 1, 2, 3, and your hands were raised as the tag team champions, the Canadian tag team champions?
You want to go or I go?
I think you should talk.
Okay, well, for me, it was a relief and satisfaction. Like, he visualized it. He said it himself. He's like, I feel like whenever you're gonna hear the 1, 2, 3, this is what's gonna happen. So I hit the finish move, and everybody
knew it. They knew it,
but they didn't know that I was gonna do it because originally I do it from the second rope.
Okay,
but I jumped from the second to the third rope just to make sure I don't get my leg pulled or anything. So I did it like just to make sure this is it. This is the power move. Like, we're gonna take it another step further. So I hit it. And I'm just over Kevin. I'm just like so tired because I got beat up for like 5 minutes from the worst.
Yeah.
And then it's like 1, 2, 3, and I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I can't do anything else. Like, I hope this is it because I can't. And then Moose is like, Will, we won. Get up. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, you won. We won. He raised me up and he's like, yo, raise your hand. And I'm like. And then I see my family, my mom was there at that time. Everybody was there. So I'm like, whoa, childhood dream. And I'm not gonna lie, I was emotional. I went to the back and everything just dropped. The adrenaline went down, and I'm like, boom. I'm like, yo, guys, I'm in my feelings right now.
From the phone call to Drew Onyx to being in that situation, it's a full circle moment.
That's when I realized, okay, I got it. Like, I kind of, like, I could, if I keep going, I can make it. Like, just have to believe.
Yeah.
And he believed from the go. He's like, okay. I remember my first practice, long story short again, first practice, I was so into it that he's like, hold on a minute. And Moose was right beside him. He's like, guys, so you're going to let one guy, first practice, come from the outside, like, tear every drill that I'm giving, and that's his first practice, and you guys are not going to do. I'm like, Moose, would you let that happen? Moose is like, nope, never. That would not be possible. Never. No, not even one day. I'm like, okay. So from that day, I'm like, okay, I just have to keep that energy, that same like type of training and everything, execute everything he said. No, try to convince myself, no, I know better. No, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's been there for over 20 years in the business, and he's been in the business for 10 years. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow those guys, and they're going to take me to a higher level.
I do believe when you guys did win, Drew Onyx did come down to the ring and raise both your hands.
Yep.
I know he's a good friend of yours. He's trained you guys.
Yes.
How did that all come? Like for Drew, you guys think of him as a trainer or more as a friend? What's the situation there?
It all depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about wrestling, the friend is not there because now, of course, like match stuff.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about training for school, TC, like torture chamber, of course he's the coach. He's my mentor. He's number one. When it comes to personal, outside of wrestling and everything, he's a friend. He's more than a friend. He became like a brother. Like he's an older brother that I would look up for, and always giving me good advice and everything. But once the bell ring, it's another story. Like we could separate those two things at some point.
Well, we've seen where it came from him raising your hand as the tag team champions, and now you guys are in some kind of a little bit of a rivalry here now. I don't know if the friendships are cracking. Is there any situation now? How did that all come about now? How did it from friends to frenemies to become the champion now in torture chamber?
I don't know what to tell you. He's gonna probably say that like I'm trying to steal his shine, trying to get his belt, get him like stole his moves, stole everything. But look, I look up to my teacher and I learn from that. And what do you want to do when you want to get to the better? So you go after the best. And that's what I'm trying to do. Of course, I want a shot. He want a shot. We work for it. We earn it, and that's why we were going after it. But it wasn't like
there's no animosity.
Exactly.
Or anything.
That was the word I'm looking for. Exactly. Yes. There's no animosity towards him. But he took it the wrong way and hit me with a chair at one show. And I'm like, even Moose was like backstage. He's like, what the hell's going on? And then I saw Moose coming in to save me and everything. But at one point, I even asked Moose, I'm like, yo, what's going on? Because I'm not too sure. He seems to have a personal problem with me, but not with you. But then everything got kind of... situated. We talked and everything is fixed.
If it comes down to it, Drew Onyx is laid on his back in the middle of the ring, and you both are standing on top of him.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Who's going to be the one to pin him?
So what we talk about is like 1, 2, 3, double pin, and then we do another match 1-on-1, and then
I don't think Drew will be happy about that. When he awakens from his stupor there, I don't think he'll be happy about that.
We have a common goal, and it's to have a new champion. That's all. It depends. Either it's Moose or me. That's what we want.
35-hour flight. I land in Montreal from Auckland, New Zealand. I land. I get there. I see Drew is hitting him with a chair. Like, what's going on? Like, it was supposed to be the both of them because I wasn't there to face
the worst.
Kevin Bryan, yeah.
Frankie Varela.
And Frankie. So I'm like, okay. Then I see him hitting with a chair. I'm like, what's this? And Drew was saying something along the lines of he's tired of what did he say again? Pulling the strings,
exactly.
or something to that effect. I'm like, Drew, come on now. I've known him for 10 years. So how I met him was...
This is going to be good.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be
Mark. It all started when I was at... university. So I'm staying in class, and we're in forensic psychology class. So
forensic psychology.
Yeah, so we're like learning how. So
you're one of the smart ones, then. I went for accounting. I feel like off to the side.
At one point, our teachers is telling us about like all these things on how serial killers think, and have something called TCO, threat control override.
Okay.
So I'm like, TCO? That sounds like NWO. Anyway, what's going on?
Wrestling fan, this teacher.
Is he a wrestling fan? So then the guy beside me is like, yo, Hulk Hogan is coming back at WrestleMania 30. You're a wrestling fan? And he's like the most... I wouldn't in my mind think of this guy as a wrestler. So I'm like, okay, let's see how much of a fan you are. I say, hey, there's a local show happening in a couple of weeks' time. I'm like, okay, there's a local show. I've never been to a local show, know anything about a local show. So at this time, I'm only a basketball player. I don't know anything about wrestling, but I'm a huge fan because I have the World's Heavyweight Championship, the replica. So I bring it
right there. Yeah. There it is. There's the eagle.
So, like the old school, the
WCW one.
Big gold.
Big gold.
Gold. Okay.
And
Bruno's favorite.
I'm such a mark, a huge fan. My name is engraved in it.
Look at the AEW belt.
Yeah.
Frank Jofo.
Exactly.
I'm a Mark. What do you want to say?
I bring it there, so we watch from the start till the whole show, right? So all these guys come on. I'm like, now bear in mind I'm a basketball player. I'm like, I can take him. I can't take him. Her, I don't know. And then I see Drew, and I get so happy because I see on his boot he has a trident. Now now he's from the same place as my mom.
Okay.
So I know that just around me, I don't meet too.
Yeah, you already have the connection with him.
Exactly. So I get up to say, "Hey, sir, this and that. I'm happy you're a champion." He thinks I'm booing him, so he starts tearing into me.
God.
I'm like, I don't want to boo him. He's my countryman. I can't do that. He's just tearing into me, and then like afterwards, I explained to him I was trying to cheer him on. He's like, "Oh, okay, sure." So come for a trial in a couple of weeks. Now, bear in mind, I'm a basketball player. I'm a wrestling. Yeah. So I spent my whole life avoiding you, not trying to go into somebody. So I call my former coach, who's the head coach at the time of the McGill Redmond, former center for the Dallas Mavericks, Atlanta Hawks. Sorry. And I think the New Jersey Nets. Anyway, he's a former NBA player that became a coach.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm asking him, like, what exercises can we do? So he had us running in hills with a towel. Now we're doing towel drills. So we lift the mobility of your shoulder.
Okay, I get it.
Towel.
Okay.
The only workout equipment you have is a towel. So I do that for a couple of weeks. I get into the best shape. I go to the tryout. And I do is like, all right, rolls. I'm like, I don't know anything about rolls. Bumps. All right, it's like as if I take a charge, right? So I'm like, bam, take a bump, boom, bump. And then he's like, push-ups. I'm like, okay, that I can do any day of the week in my sleep twice on Sunday. So then after a trial, we did about 150 falls. And I remember walking down the street. I'm like, I can't really sit down. My neck is too stiff. I call my sister. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this wrestling thing.
But that's what it is. Yeah, a lot of people they go, I know I could do it, and then we go in that first practice and I don't think I could do this.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch.
Yeah. No, that too. So I'm just walking down the street. I'm waiting for whatever, and then Drew kept following up with me. When are you joining? So I'm like, you know what? My sister goes. She looks at me and says, Moose, you've tried so many things in your life, and you've always quit. You've been talking about wrestling since you was 3 years old. Yeah. Like, go for it. See how far it can take you. And I don't want to hear you talk about wrestling. So I'm like,
put up or shut up, basically.
Exactly. So then I signed up. It was Wednesday, November 19th, 2014. It was a rainy day. I remember that like it was yesterday. I walk in, and there's about 5 students goes up, open practice. So I walk in, I'm like, am I in the right place? And I see Drew, I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place. So, and then we're headed for 10 years now.
So talk to me about the dojo. How if somebody was off the street or was a wrestling fan like you guys were when you guys started, how does that how does it start with them? Did you go to the dojo? How does everyone make you feel there? Like they make you feel welcome, like a family? How was it over there?
One of the lines that comes straight to my mind is we leave no one's behind. Is once you join, you're in, we're going to take care of you, whatever is your weakness, whatever is your background, and we accept it. We don't want you to be a robot and do everything. Like if you have a background in basketball, like he was saying, he's still going to incorporate some of the stuff that he learned in basketball into wrestling that is going to help him and make it to his advantage. I have a background in football. I did martial arts for about 10 years also, so that's why I'm trying to incorporate those things into wrestling. So it helps me also, and so it's the same thing I would say for anybody that is coming from the streets, either no wrestling background or a mark or nobody not even interested in wrestling or just want to try it, we're cool with that. Like,
we always see some familiar faces, obviously every event, but then you see some new faces too, which is good too, because if you don't build the future, what future do we have in this business as wrestlers, right? For you guys, right? The worst. This is the worst. Frankie Perillo, Kevin Bryan. I know you guys have had some great matches with them. I was wrestling those guys because they're great heels, and they make you guys shine in the ring as a tag team. How fun is it to wrestle those guys?
It's fun, but a lot of people take them lightly. Yes. But they need to be taken seriously.
Yes.
Because actually, they can make damage. Like I said earlier, I was in the ring for 5 minutes, and I could curse. I got
of
my
course.
ass whooped like crazy.
This show is called Jofo in the Ring. Just our fucking opinion.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right.
All right, cool. No, I got my ass kicked. I got my ass whooped by Kevin Bryan and Frankie Perillo, sorry. And I was kind of surprised because look, if you look at us, automatically you're gonna say, okay, those guys are gonna beat those two guys. But Kevin Bryan is a technical wrestler.
Yes.
He has a background, like he's been for over 10 years
or
so. Frankie Perillo, I think, over close to 10 years also. So they have a chemistry. We've been together for 2 years, so we had to go over that, right? So that was something that, like, I love wrestling them, but at the same time I hate them. Like, you know what I mean? It's a hate and love situation. But they're the worst, but they're the best at what they do.
They're the worst, but they're the
best at what they do. Exactly.
It's a good play on words, man. They're a really good tag team, man. A lot of guys too in Torture Chamber as well. Everyone knows there that I'm a big fan of Paulo Triassi. Paulo Triassi. How is he backstage? Is he an MJ? You think he's like an MJF? This guy? What's the story with this guy?
Go ahead.
The Paulo you see in the ring is the Paulo you see backstage.
I love it. That's my favorite.
Yeah, man. He's just funny.
Future champion, and then he's going to be going against Victor Costella, which is a very good friend of yours as well.
Yep.
He was on Ring of Honor as well with you guys there as well.
Yep.
How great was it to see him finally get that chance to be on TV?
Victor did amazing. Actually, like, Victor was just everywhere. They asked Victor to do something. He wasn't cool, and then they asked Victor for a match. He's like, cool. He's like, do I do both, or like, what do I do? He's like, and then they told Victor, like, no, just focus on the match. Victor did amazing. He's an amazing wrestler. I learned from him also. Like that's what I was saying. Like, everybody that is been there, even Paulo, I asked for tricks, I asked for advice, I asked for anything. Victor, same thing. Kevin Bryan, same thing. I asked for all those vets that were there before me and that are certified as great wrestler. I always ask for advice. So Victor was one of them, and I want to thank him for that.
Going back to Drew is the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion. He's fought big names in this business: Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor, Carl Anderson. The list goes on. What's the strategy? What are you guys going to be? Is it a 2-on-1 match, or is it a triple threat match? What's the story here, guys? The people want to know.
May 5th, come find out.
Yep, pretty much. We had a deal. It's like, it's everyone for themselves, but at the same time, we're still gonna be brothers at the end of the day. So it's like, he went to New Zealand for New Japan tryout and training camp. He's been busting his ass for the last, I would say, even 10 years, but specifically last year, I've been working crazy. Also, we've been training together, and I know it's not going to be an easy match because everybody's going to put everything on the table. So the strategy is go out there, kick some ass, and like he says, punch, talk shit, and then at the end of the night, we want a new champion.
Yes.
So for me, I couldn't. During this interview, I can't leave out the hottest pro wrestling manager in sports today, Sugar Shane Pinto.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of his, like a lot of people are. Ever wonder one day maybe having a manager, or is that a possibility? Or talk to us about Shane.
It's in talks.
It's in talks.
No, Shane is he's fantastic at what he does. He's good at instigating you, getting under your skin. So far, we haven't had the misfortune of being in
I don't want to see
crosshairs, but
you're gonna make me cry. I can't tell. I can't believe which side I'm on.
But yeah.
Oh well, you know, like the first year that I start at Torture Chamber, every night me and Shane would drive on our way home, and we would just be talking, and that was always something that he said. He's like, man, I hope and I can't wait to work with you guys. And I was like, man, it's good, but at the same time, Shane, you're Shane Pinto. So I'm like, your tactics are not some of the tactics that I go by, but I do understand that you go by any means necessary.
You know what? That's what it is. Any means necessary, and you know what? And he puts like Bjorg won the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship. Shane had a hand in it, you know what I mean? With Damage Inc. and everything, and Johnny North, Genesis. So to have that backup, it's good, man. So you never know. Maybe one day you guys can have a tag team championship with manager Sugar Shane Pinto. You never know. You never know, Shane. I'm trying, Shane. I'm trying.
What do we have?
Whoa!
Here we go.
What do we have here?
Whoa! Sorry, guys. He wasn't supposed to be here this early, but I guess he knew you guys were here.
Well, as a professional, you know that it's important to be here a half an hour early. I didn't know you were dealing with the maintenance.
The maintenance.
Oh,
wow.
Wow. What's up, guys? How you doing? Huh? How you doing? Keeping the seat warm for me? That's good. That's like
all good stuff talking about here. This is the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion, the man right here, Drew Onyx. And Drew, these guys had a lot of good things to say about you, but you guys are going to be fighting in a triple threat.
That is correct.
At Pandemonium.
That is correct.
I don't want to devolve any situations here, but they have a game plan.
What? How to lose?
I don't know.
How to go home early?
They have a game plan.
How to use their Medicare card when I put one of them in the hospital?
The student versus the teacher, man.
Oh, my God. Everyone, listen, to quote Mike Tyson, who quoted Joe Louis, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
And I wouldn't want to get hit in the mouth by you, Drew. I'll tell you that. That's why I stay in the stands.
But, no, listen, I know it's going to be a very interesting, high, intense fight. It's going to be violent. It's going to be physical. I can't say anything bad about these guys as far as wrestling. All right? They're very good. As you've seen last week, you know where they were. They had their first ROH debut. I'm proud of those guys and stuff like that. It's just that, as great as these are single or as a tag team, there's no need for jealousy. There's no need to be jealous that I'm the champion and take what's mine. Do you understand?
Is that what it's all about?
That's what
jealousy.
it is.
The jealousy.
Yes, thank you. My check 1 2 1 2. That's exactly what has happened. You know what? It's like I'm their stepbrother, all right? I'm taking care of them, and you love your stepbrother, but every once in a while, your stepbrothers want to act up. You know what I mean? They want to sleep in your bed. They want to eat your food without asking. And I'm just here to let them know that, hey, this is mine. You have yours. When they had the Canadian Tag Team Championship, guys, I'm going to ask you guys there. Did I ever challenge you for a match? Did I ever?
Nope.
No.
As it stands, no.
No, because that was theirs. They deserved it. They earned it. Now I finally get the championship. I want to go on and defend it against the top contenders. And look what they do.
So you're telling me that these two men right here are not contenders in your eyes?
No, wait, listen. One of them was. He beat him fairly in a match, and he was
that's
a contender. What?
That's not true.
That's not what happened?
You knocked both of us out. You dragged me on him.
What? A win is a win. A win is a win.
A win is a win. At the end of the day, when you go through the history books...
That's what I was just going to say. 100 years from now, they're not going to check about the little insignificance or whatever the case is. The man had an illegal object. You took it from him.
I had an illegal object.
Anyways, like he said, a win is a win. When they check 100 years from now, the great Mustapha Jordan beat, Wilson. So that's it. So that's all it is. Anyways, how long do these guys have?
Well, we're gonna maybe another 10, 15 minutes, I guess, and we'll get to the champion.
All right. I'm gonna let them have their little few minutes of fame left. But guys, it's good to see you. You guys are looking very healthy. You're looking very strong. Once again, I just want to say on record, I am proud of the fact that you guys did so well at the AEW tapings, and because you've done so well, friends don't let friends wrestle Drew Onyx. Do you understand? So listen, you guys are in a trajectory that's going sky high. Don't mess it up. I'm willing to take resignations, like just say, May 5th, I can't make it, I didn't make weight, or listen, we can make up a lie. One of you guys are on steroids, I don't know. You guys figure it out, all right? And let's keep our friendship. All right. So always a pleasure. I'll be back. Yeah. Then you'll get a real interview.
Wow. That's it.
And give them they got like about 5 more minutes left.
Everything was good. Right before he comes in.
All right. Here you go. Somebody take my mic.
I apologize, guys. I apologize. As much as I'm a big fan of Drew Onyx, I apologize. But I think he's trying to get into your guys' heads here. It seems here. I don't know. He's trying to divide you guys. I don't know what's the story here. I didn't expect that.
He's gonna have to try a lot harder than that. Okay, because on May 5th, if we were to draw a parallel to boxing, what would happen if Ali faced Tyson, faced Wilder? That's what the fans are going to see in the contest. Bomb Squad. Bob Squad.
Ali!
I want your heart. You remember that quote? I want your heart. I eat children. You know what I mean?
My prediction's gonna be
Hey. Oh, okay.
All I need is a left, right. Forget everything else. 1, 2, boom, bye, and good night.
Wow.
So, guys, the triple threat match, what's the strategy behind beating the champion, Drew Onyx? Because to beat the champion, you have to pin the champion.
Yep.
How is that going to work for you guys?
Well, we're going to take him out. Then we're going to wrestle amongst ourselves. And if he's both laying down there, we're both going to pin him. 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
There's nothing says in the rule book in the history of the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship that it can't be a co-holder.
What?
I love this. Hey, that's amazing.
Ask them another question.
Amazing.
Have they wrestled Drew Onyx before? Have they wrestled Drew Onyx for
Hey, listen, you will have your interview after.
Excuse me, sir, I'm talking. Excuse me.
Man.
And ask them, have they ever ask Wilson, has he ever challenged me before for the British Commonwealth Championship? And what conspired? What transpired after? Ask him, please.
Drew Onyx is a champion, no doubt. He's held the heavyweight championship before, and he has it right now. He's the reigning champion. Have you guys ever fought a heavyweight champion and have fought Drew Onyx as well?
Yes, I did. I did last year in 2023.
And?
For ETWA, if I'm not mistaken.
Great promotion.
Great promotion, amazing. And the result was I lost.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, we couldn't hear. Can you talk
I said I lost. Okay, can you just go and yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? He's the champion. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but
they're right.
listen.
They got 2 more minutes of fame left.
So the match went well. Of course, for
me.
2 years of experience, I'm satisfied with my performance. And I lost to a great champion. But on May 5th, it's another story. Because me and Mustapha Jordan are going to take him out, and then it's between me and Mustapha.
Take me out for dinner. Take me out to an event. Wine me and dine me. That's the extent. You don't even get to take me home.
Now, finally, at the end of this match, regardless of the winner and the loser, will you guys be able to shake hands at the end of this match, and all 3 of you guys become friends like you were, or is the rivalry just beginning?
You know what? Just ask Drew, because once he loses the title, I don't know how he's gonna feel about it. You know what I mean? Because it's cool. We already have an appointment. We already have an agreement. If it's me, if it's him, I get the title shot. I get the title shot right after 1-on-1. If it's me, same thing. We have a disagreement. But Drew, we don't know about how he's gonna feel. You know, he's been in the game and he lost, but I don't know how he's gonna feel about losing to one of us. Like,
I didn't know you guys were allowed to drink live.
we're drinking water. We're drinking water.
Vodka to me, friend. The way you're talking, that sounds like a lot of vodka.
Didn't you say he needs to be stopped?
He has to be stopped. Okay.
What?
So, let me draw a little parallel outside of the realms of Chocolate City and Drew Onyx.
This is what they did.
I am the last of my contemporaries to challenge and/or win the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Championship. Just to name a few names: Fergal Devitt, Carl Anderson, Adam Pearce, Alex Kozlov, Drew Onyx,
all household names.
Don Boulanger, Mike Marston, Bjork Hacken,
Genesis,
Johnny North are Genesis.
Yeah.
I am the last of my era to ever challenge for that title. So on May 5th, all jokes aside, I'm looking to leave heavyweight champion.
Well, Drew, I don't know about that. This is.
First of all, we're gonna have to get the weight scale. I don't know if he's over 205.
206.1.
There you go.
There you go.
We're gonna have it running just before the show.
So, guys, finally, in conclusion here, give us one more insight here. Tell the fans what to expect at Pandemonium in the main event for the British Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion against your good friend, Drew Onyx.
Tell us.
Get your tickets, get your popcorn, get your mistresses, get your side chicks, get your wives, get your kids, buy 2 more tickets, call your neighbor. It's going to be a spectacle because one of us is going to be champion. Just not Drew.
That's it.
Wow.
I'm not going to add anything to that. He said it best. Yeah, he said it better.
Okay, guys. So before we let you go, tell the great fans out there where they could follow your journey on social media, and plug your federations, plug your dates. The floor is yours, guys.
Definitely. So you can find us on IG under chocolatecity.tc. You can find us on Facebook, also chocolatecity.tc. You can find us everywhere. In every wrestling promotion, we are working with Victory Ring. Our next show is actually next week.
Yeah, next Saturday
against Victor Castella and Johnny Taco.
Wow,
so that's gonna be a hell of a match. And and all the future dates you can watch. Just look on our social media, and you can have all the information over there.
Plug your socials, man.
Same.
Yeah.
And we remind everyone to
feel the drizzle.
And there you have it, folks. Future champions, we're gonna have to wait and see at Pandemonium. Get your tickets. DM us, DM Torture Chamber on Facebook. We'll get you there. Get your tickets now. For Frank Jofo, for Selecta Brew, for Wilson Colas and Mustapha Jordan, Chocolate City. Thanks, guys, again for coming.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. You guys are always welcome here, and hopefully the next time you do come here, you'll have the heavyweight title right in front of you.
Yeah.
I know Drew won't be happy about that, but I hope that happens. For everybody out there, thank you for coming in for this great interview with Chocolate City. And remember, wrestling is life.
I'm a wreck the East Coast, no debate. Feel the drizzle, feel the vibe. East Coast represent me on the rise. Heavy beats, trap flows, we stay fly. I see the Philly, feel the East Coast pride.
Look at that.
Feel the drizzle,
agility.
feel the sway.
And that elbow comes over right across his neck.
It's over. New champ.
Champions and the crowd erupts.
Newly crowned tag team champions. Honestly, like I said, I didn't think they were going to pull it off the way the match was going. The Worst had the match in their hands. A little too much stupidity, pandering to the crowd, and laughing it up in the ring. And look what happened. Chocolate City, resilient, came back, got the win. They are your new tag team British Commonwealth champions. Congratulations to them.
Chocolate City.
And everyone goes home happy.
Everyone going home happy. The fans on their feet, sold out crowd.
I'm a wreck the East Coast, no debate. Feel the drizzle, feel the vibe. East Coast represent, we on the rise. Heavy beats, trap flows, we stay fly. From when I see the Philly, feel the East Coast pride. Feel the drizzle, feel the sway. We ain't playing, we grinding every day. In the concrete jungle, we don't play. From the east to the west, we slay.